Hi guys, it's Mary. Welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about the Tati Beauty first release Textured Neutrals Volume 1, and I'm going to give you my thoughts on that. I'm specifically talking to women over the age of 50 who may have some wrinkles on their eyelids and are more mature. From purchase to in my hand, it took 15 days. It took 5 days for them to process this and ship it. Then another 10 days for me to actually get it. And that is one of my cons. The very, very slow Paul Revere ride shipping. Since I've already started complaining, I might as well give you the rest of my cons. Then it won't seem so bad when I tell you what's good about it, right? That makes sense in my head anyway. Tati said she wanted feedback, so I'm going to continue saying this, even though we all know Tati's never going to watch this video. She is always very nitpicky about things that she reviews, so that's why I'm being nitpicky about things in case you want to know. Do I dislike Tati? No! I've been watching Tati since she did the dance thing. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? It was kind of like YouTube's version of Dancing with the Stars. My son and I were watching it because of Lindsay Sterling. Lindsay Sterling was on the 3rd season of this show, and we were watching it because of her. And I got interested in Tati because she was part of the beauty community that I was already watching. I just didn't know who she was. But I've been watching Tati for a very long time. When I'm giving you criticism here, it is not to tear down Tati as a person. Back here on the back is the ingredients for all the eyeshadows if you want to get a magnifying glass and go through that. Tati herself said what the lab was that she used, and they make ColourPop. They make Kim Kardashian's line, Kylie's line. Obviously, if you are a fan of Tati's, you probably bought this. Okay. And she intends for you to keep on buying. So this is volume 1, and they're meant to look like books on a bookshelf. I'm not the first one to say this. I think that Mel said this in a video. I think. I'm not positive. Let's say you got 4 of these babies out now, and I've got them all. And they're sitting like they're supposed to on bookshelves. Volume 1, Volume 2, but it's been a while. I don't remember what Volume 1 is. I think that it should say Textured Neutrals right there, Volume 1, because maybe the next one will be, hopefully, All Glitter, Volume 2. Okay? That leads into my next criticism of this palette. I think that all of the glitters shouldn't be in this palette. I have glitter everywhere. I'm serious. The sequins and the glitter has fallen down into my mats. I'm not thrilled about that. I hate that row. The sequin row, which is nothing more than mats with microscopic glitter that microscopically always falls onto my cheeks. I have a lot of that in palettes I own. I don't use it. That's the ones I don't use. But I was kind of hoping that her formula would be different. No, it's not. It's still gonna fall out all over my face after having it on for 5 minutes. We could swatch this and then I could go and blow it right off. Don't believe me? These are the sequins from the Poet and the Story line. Okay, there they are. I hope this shows up. Gone. Even though I'm subscribed to Tati and have watched her for years, I wasn't going to buy this palette because it's just more of the same for me. But she said that this row right here, the metallic row, was excellent for mature women. And for some mature women, I would say, yes, Tati, you're right. And a lot of older women do like a shade that's a metallic that's not so bam in your face metallic. But I think the majority would want at least a little payoff here. Now, looking at all the swatches that she has all over her body, you would think so. And, I'm not going to swatch all these for you because, you know what? Finger swatches are stupid. So what? It's swatched great on your finger. Whoop-de-doo. Oh, here's an example. I'll show you. We'll just take that one right there. I've run the gamut on primers, so I've used just about every kind of primer you can. All right. They all pretty much do the same for me. But I'm just going to come right in here. There it is. It looks so pretty. And wow, look at that payoff. That is so gorgeous. So now I'm going to take a shader brush, okay? I'm pressing hard. 1, 2, 3. You really shouldn't have to go into any shadow more than that. Okay, that's pressing as hard as I can, and I went twice. Let's come over here. Rituals in 3 times hard. Okay. Did you see me? Go over it again. How does it swatch? Swatch is really fantastic, right? So that's why I don't believe in swatches. Highly disappointed in the metallic row. First thing I did as soon as I got this palette was go into the glitter. I did. I got that. I took it one like this and then put it all over my lid. It was gorgeous. So of course I love the glitters, but these aren't eye safe. So some companies that do have eye safe glitter. Eye safe glitter is made of a polyester, not jagged kind of irregular. Yeah, you may not have a problem with using non-eye safe glitter on your eyes. And if that's the case, this is the best glitter I have ever used. Okay, the payoff on this, look, watch, I'm just pushing. I'm not going to swatch this, I'm just going to push. And now look. That's insane. Every single one of these glitters is just beautiful. So what do we have really then? I have a row of the most awesome glitters you ever saw in your life. But because there's such a pain to take off and I'm wearing glitter the rest of the week, serious, I've got glitter from 2 nights ago on my face. It's in my wrinkles, okay? You gotta get one of these. This really does work. You can take it and go like this on your face and get those glitters off. So if you're going to a party, then I highly suggest you have one of these from the Dollar Tree in your purse. So you can just slip off to the bathroom, take out your clothes tape, and go like this and get it off there. It will only remove a tiny bit of your makeup and you can get all the glitter off. You think I'm joking. You won't see this glitter because your eyes are old, right? So you won't see it unless you look in a 10 by and spread your wrinkle apart. Because it's hid in the wrinkles. You think you got it all off there, but you don't. It's just in the wrinkles. How are the mattes? They're pigmented. They're very, very soft. That would be because there is a coconut derivative in these. So if you're allergic to coconut, just something to note. Very soft, very pigmented. And I am of the school of thinking that you can have shadows that are too pigmented because they don't want to move. Think, okay, well, if you just use a little tiny bit, I mean, just take your brush and just barely go in there. There you go. Just boink like that and use it. But to me, they're still hard to move. They're still patchy. This would be nice if a 57-year-old woman figured out that this stuff isn't going to work for her and her wrinkly lids to be able to return it. But you can't. You cannot purchase this and return it. They state so right on their FAQ. The very first thing deals with that. And I'll tell you something else. I probably wouldn't have purchased it at all if I had known that. But if I'm remembering correctly, and I might not be, but if I remember correctly, there was just a picture of Tati on her website until the moment this went up for sale. And then if you take into account that the YouTuber who's bringing this to you has over 9 million subscribers, and if you've done a few of these, you know that usually they sell out really quickly. You're not going to go there and go, oh my gosh, it's for sale. Let me see if I can return it. No. You're going to buy it, and quickly, and that's exactly what I did. I threw it into cart, checked out as quickly as I possibly could, and then later saw that there's no returns. I am wearing One Eye Tati Beauty right now, and one eye is not. One eye is from shadows I already own from 3 other influencers. Maybe you own those palettes too. So if you're like me, and all you're interested in is this matte row, and this doesn't speak to you, then maybe you should go looking through your collection. I'm thinking maybe you should stick with something you already have. Something like the ABH Modern Renaissance, or the ones I used for this look right here. By the way, have you guessed yet which one is the Tati eye? Using a Wayne Goss number 16, I'm using Soothe from the Tati palette. The shade is, I feel, it's okay, but I'm having trouble with it getting caught on my wrinkles as I try and gently soothe this through my crease. It just takes longer. Eventually it does blend out, but it does take longer than the other shadow I'm going to use from the Jaclyn Hill palette, which is MFEO and Pukey mixed. Just take your brush through Pukey and pull it up and you've got the same thing. So now I'm going to clean it off with my microfiber towel and go back over and try to blend this out some more so that it has the same smoothness that the other side does. This is Poet on a Sigma E45. Now here I think you can really see how this is dragging and it's like skipping over wrinkles. I've just used the tiniest bit and I'm trying to blend this straight away in my crease. And now I'm just showing you that what I'm hoping the camera picks up is that patchiness that I was talking about. Now I cleaned off the brush and then I went back in and tried to, smooth it out more, but I just can't seem to get it to come out where I want. I'm sorry, I have a cold too. This is why I didn't want to do a voiceover. I tried to use music, but it was annoying. All right, coming into the Emily Edits palette, I find this shade Cheer. I immediately thought of Cheer when I used Poet, and I'm smiling because it just blends easier, I think. It is less pigmented than Poet, and I feel like that makes it easier. So I added a little bit more to try and bring it up the intensity of Poet, because I know it's going to be hard to get Poet blended out. But because of my lids, because this eye here hoods a little bit more than the other side, I need to put a little bit more over there to try and bring it up as high. And now I'm going into Tati's Ritual, which I find this shade of all of the mattes to be the worst as far as being patchy, not wanting to move. Like where you lay it down, that's where it's going to stay. And I realize that I am using a pointy, more dense brush. But I have this problem no matter what brush I try to use. So I'll just work on this a little bit until I get it where I want. On the Jaclyn Hill palette, the shade is Mocha. And by the way, you know how I feel about Morphe, okay? So for me to pick this palette, it's just the one that came to mind. It was another YouTuber palette. This is what came to mind when I looked at the Tati palette. I'm like, I believe all of that is in the Jaclyn Hill palette, and I think almost everybody has that palette, so I pulled it out. This is the Sigma E40, which is really good to soften. Blends out, I think, on the lid, so I'm using it to try and soften both out and make them more even. This is the Sigma E55, and I'm coming into Tati's Story. I want to put this on my lid, but not all the way over toward the corner. This is the shade Hunts from the Jaclyn Hill palette. Now I'm taking a Royal Nickel Balm 47 and coming into the black shade Memory from Tati's palette. And I didn't get enough on there. I was trying to get very little because I find it to be patchy. And I didn't get enough, so I had to go back in. Now, this shade, to be fair, is more pigmented than what is showing up here on my lid. It's more like what I've got there in my crease that I can't move. But for some reason, the shadows don't want to lay on top of each other as nicely as other shadows I have do. So I'm having quite a bit of problem moving memory where I want it, and for it to show up over the top of the orange story. So I'm trying to blend out where it just wants to stick in that wrinkle, in that hood. It's not wanting to move off there. So I'm just trying to blend that with this Sigma E40. And this is Jaclyn Hill's Abyss. Now I'm going to go back into memory because this eye, I need to straighten up the height of this shadow against the other side. Because of my hood, it's not up as high as the other side is. So I'm attempting in the viewfinder, which you guys know, I mean, I've got that little 10 by and the viewfinder here, and I can't really see that well, but I don't think I'm doing too bad for not being able to see. And I finally give up and use my finger to blend out and kind of dust in there with the E40. Now this shade here, this is a Sephora number 18, by the way. This shade is called Aura from the Tati palette. And again, there's this going over story problem here, because this shade is probably the best shade that's not a glitter. This is probably the best shade in the whole palette, Aura, and yet I'm a little kind of concerned here. It's not doing what it should. So again, I think it's because it's going over the top of story. And I just keep working with it, trying to get what I want it to do done. And so I will resort to my finger. Now I do want to point out that ColourPop is the same lab, all right? And they have in the So Jaded palette a shade called My Precious. And My Precious is a straight up dupe for Aura. Feels the same, swatches the same, but watch what happens when I actually go into it to use on my lid. So there it is. I've got the same amount on my brush. I think it's going to do the same thing, and whoop, wait a minute. Nope, it's not. It's going to do a little better, so I wasn't expecting that. And there you go. Really quick is just to transform a daytime look, which for some of you this probably isn't a daytime look. It may be a nighttime look, but maybe you're gonna like go out dancing or something and you want to take this up to the next level, and you can bump it up with those glitters. So let's just do that. The one I think that is the prettiest is this one here in the Aura line, because it's got all different kinds of colors in it. It's not just like, can you see the colors? When you turn it, there's more than one color shift in here. So I really like that one. Let's get Aura on one eye and we'll get Poet on the other so that you can see they really truly are special. You could take your pinky and just touch it. Okay, then come up here and just do that. Maybe a nighttime date night look. But you know me, guys. You know that was not enough glitter. You know if I'm going to go glitter, I'm going to go all the way. I'm going to go in with my ring finger. I'm just going to swirl around there. Here we go. I'm going to really bump this. So what you do is just press. That's the best thing. See, I just dropped it down on my cheek. The best thing, I think, is to just put it on there and press. Don't do this number. My goodness, isn't that gorgeous? Yeah, it is, and it will stay that way. This will not fall down to my face. Now, what will happen is, as I blink, it will start rising up. Even if I'm not that high up in my crease with it, it will. But right now I'm just gonna brush that off. I'm gonna use Aura on the other eye. So let's get in there with the ring finger. And it's so beautiful. But I don't have any use for this as a 57-year-old woman who doesn't go anywhere. As beautiful as it is, I'm not Tati. I don't have events to go to. I do have wrinkles that I will not be able to get this out of for days. And let's face it, guys, I'm never going to go to Costco or Kroger like this. Me and my two different eyes are going to say goodbye. I hope that you know you're the best part of the Fritzy family. If you're not part of the Fritzy family, we'd like it if you were. Just hit the red subscription button and ring that bell. And if you're not having a blessed day, please go out and be a blessing to somebody else. And until next time, love you, see ya. Bye. And I'm out.
Okay, hold on. You know what this is. It's my Tati. Ba-dum-bum. Get it? Tati. Tati. Ba-dum-bum. And for just $4.65, a complete steal on shipping, you get your very own reenactment of Paul Revere's ride. That's how long it will take to get to you. It should say Tati Booty. Tati's booty. It should say Tati's booty right there. It kind of is her booty, right? Not like her butt, not like her bum, not like her behind. Booty as in the treasure, right? The money, whatever. Another kind of nitpicking kind of Teddy. My tongue is getting tired of pulling tongues. We're playing Battleship here. Metallic Soothe. Ah, you sunk my palate. No. That was bad, even for me. For me, my brain doesn't work in this very organized way. My brain is like all over the place. As you know, so it takes a little bit longer for my brain to convey to my tongue. And they're constantly fighting with each other, It just takes a little bit for my brain to process, when you say, like, I don't know, aura glitter. And I'll be like, oh, you see glitter in my aura? Oh my gosh, I knew it all along. I'm glitzy. That's not a fart. That's my elbows on the desk. I know. See? I told you. I keep telling you guys that, but I know you don't believe me. Okay, so this... oh my god! That mirror scared me. Like I was showing you and then there I was, huge. This, of course, being who I am, I couldn't wait to take my finger in there and just run it on my lid. And it was the most spectacular looking... It's in my wrinkles, okay? You gotta get one of these, alright? Get one of these and then just kind of roll it on your face, back and forth. And you can get most of the glitter off then.